Alright, today we're going to continue talking about integers, and let's talk about opposites to begin with. If you think back when you were a little kid and you watched like Sesame Street and stuff, they talked about opposites, up, down, left, right. But in math, opposites are numbers that are the same distance from zero. All right, remember, you can pause this at any time if you need to get some part of the notes down. Just remember, pause it, unpause it, keep going. Or if you want to hear something again, just rewind it and listen again. All right, so looking at a number line, if we go out to the number 4, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 hops away from 0. And to find its opposite, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Same distance from 0. And so that would be at -4. So 4 and -4 are opposites. Integers are a set of whole numbers and their opposites. All right, so whole numbers start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then we have that word opposite in there, so 0 doesn't have an opposite. So the opposite of 1 would be -1, 2, -2, 3, -3, and so on. So those are integers. All right, Teresa earns money by doing odd jobs. She records her earnings and expenses in a notebook. Graph the amounts on a number line. All right, so an earning is something good, so that would be a positive number, and an expense would be a negative number. And we're just going to treat these as every different number. We're not going to actually do like a checkbook type thing. So if you earn $12, you're going to go out to a positive 12. All right, so I'm just going to draw a little arrow to that one so we know what went where. Okay, the next one is an expense, so that would be coming out of your pocket, so that would be a negative. Another expense of $9, so that's still coming out of your pocket, so that'd be a negative. And an earning of $9, so that would be a positive number. All right, represent 500 below sea level as an integer. Keyword is below, so we know that means we're going to have a negative. You have your number, -500. All right, represent a profit of $30 as an integer. Okay, profit is a good thing, so that would be a positive $30. All right, if I said you're gaining 3 pounds, would that be a positive or a negative integer? You're gaining, so gain would be a positive. All right, if you owe someone $20 in your bank account, if you owe money, that's going to be a negative. So owe $20. If you get a $600 raise, again, raise is a good thing, so that'd be a positive. And if you had a $10 withdrawal, so if you go to your ATM machine, you take out money, it's coming out of your account, so that would be a negative. So $10 withdrawal. All right, absolute value. You probably remember this back from 6th grade. So absolute value is just simply a number's distance from 0. All right, so 6, the absolute value of 6, that's what these little bars here mean is absolute value. And that's just simply saying how far is 6 away from 0? 6 hops. All right, -8, same thing, absolute value of -8. How far is -8 from 0? 8 hops. All right, now this one's a little tricky because you have this little negative hanging out. Since it's not on the inside, you simply bring it over. And now the absolute value of -3 is a positive 3. So the only reason why this is negative is because of the negative on the outside. So again, if you look at the next one, we have that negative hanging out. Drag him over. Absolute value of 5 is just plain old 5, so it's a -5. So every time you take it out of the absolute value bars, it's always going to be a positive number. But just look in front of it. If there's something hanging out like this guy, just bring it over. All right, now inside of here we have actually an operation to do. So we're actually going to do negative 8 plus 3. Negative 8 plus 3 is a negative 5. Now take the absolute value of negative 5 and you get 5. Same thing, do this part first. So 6 minus 10 is a negative 4. We're still in the absolute value bars, and you get a positive 4. All right, when you compare integers, farthest to the right is bigger. All right, and if you don't remember your right from your left, right is that way. Okay, so the first one, negative 6 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 6 and 3. Negative 3 is further to the right, so 3 is bigger, and we'd put this symbol in. This is saying negative 6 is less than 3. Okay, the next one, negative 4 and negative 2. Negative 4, negative 2. Again, furthest to the right is bigger. This one's further to the right, so negative 4 is less than negative 2. And you can think about it, they're both negative, just think about the opposite in your brain, like of how you normally would compare them, and that might help you out a little bit. So the next one, negative 5 and negative 7. Okay, negative 5 is further to the right, so that means negative 5 is bigger, so negative 5 is greater than negative 7. Again, when you have that negative in front, just think opposite, because if you really compared 5 and 7, obviously 7 would be bigger, but when you throw that negative, you got to think the opposite in your brain. All right, ordering integers. Okay, we have some words over there on the side, least to greatest, which also is ascending. That's a vocabulary word you need to know. And greatest to least is descending. You can think about descending, going down. Greatest to least is going down. Ascending, going up. So all you need to do here, sometimes it's easier if you just make a quick little number line. And then you can just place the dots and make it real easy to figure out who's going to be the biggest and the smallest. All right, so we have negative 2, we have negative 5, we have a 1, a 0, a 5, a negative 3, and a negative 1. We're going from least to greatest, which is also ascending, so you want the smallest number. So our smallest blue dot is at negative 5. Then we went to negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 5. Okay, sometimes you might see a number line going up and down. It's the same thing. When you go up, it's going to be positive numbers, and when you go down, it's going to be negative numbers. So let's just put our dots down. So we have it at 6. We have one at 2. It might help if we just put our numbers in already. All right, so we have a 2. Got that one. We have a negative 5, negative 1, 0, negative 3, and 3. This time we're going greatest to least, which remember is called descending. So the highest number, our little dot, is at 6. Then we go to a 3, 2, 0, negative 1, negative 3, and negative 5. All right, the next slide, I want you to do this one on your own. If you need help, please make sure you're asking.